By now, you have probably seen all of the crying and whinging on Reddit and Spectrum about the Star Citizen Pledge Store now being pay to win or whatever it is. Basically, the latest round of crying and complaining from the Star Citizen community. What is funny about using the phrase pay to win in a game is that is basically the gamer equivalent to virtue signaling. To cry about Star Citizen being paid to win in, year 10 plus of development is the absolute peak of stupidity. This game, since its inception, could very easily be interpreted as pay to win by anyone. That is the nature of a crowd-funded game. Do you honestly believe that CIG is going to raise all the money that they have raised by simply selling costumes, skins, and cosmetics alone? Do you really think that people want to spend all of their money on skins and cosmetics? And more importantly, do you think that skins and cosmetics raise the same amount of money that ships and concepts and various other sales do? If you're smart, then you'll already know that that is simply not the case. People are going to be far more willing to purchase a ship or ship concept than they ever will be a skin. And the funding for the entire lifetime of this now nearly $1 billion game proves that. But now what we have are the influencers and the content creators using their platforms to mobilize, grandstand, and virtue signal on any platform they can get onto to try and score an easy win with their audience or any other potential audience. This is not about making Star Citizen a better game. This is rather about scoring an easy win in order to potentially grow their brand, so that I'm sure one day they can move beyond Star Citizen and into another game, which may very well end up being better. But what better way to do that than to fall back on the classic and ever so popular class warfare? Because that is ultimately what pay-to-win arguments are about. It's about stoking up the feelings and emotions of class warfare. It is so effective that politicians have been doing it for centuries. And perhaps that is the one thing that influencers and politicians have in common, is that they are professional liars who will say anything in order to get more attention. Read my lips, no new taxes. Sound familiar? I would ask where this concern was, or you could even say still is, over something such as the F-7A Hornet Mark II. This ship is no longer available. It was only available for a limited time, and you had to pay money and do an in-game event. It is essentially the Fellwinter's Lie of Star Citizen. Where is the rabid crying about that? Where is the grandstanding and virtue signaling about that? It is not present, because the reality is this. Most people, including the influencers, content creators, etc., do not care. The F-7A Hornet is no longer the topic of the week. It is not going to generate the clicks and the revenue like this new Cash Shop update is. And quite honestly, looking at this new Cash Shop and these additions of blades and everything else, what is the big deal here? There is no big deal. This is no different than anything else that has been going on. There have been items in the Cash Shop forever that will usually be available in-game within like 2 to 3 months. CIG could go ahead and make the blades available right now for everybody to purchase as a result of this outcry, and nothing would change. But they are very clearly trying to generate revenue, because making a game is not cheap. You have to pay the salaries of your employees. You have to pay the insurance and everything else that comes with having employees. You have to pay the property tax, the rent, the facilities, electric, water, etc., etc. For anybody crying and complaining about the business practices of CIG, or any company for that matter, I would ask how much experience in human resources or management they have, or have they ever had, or do they have their own LLC that employs other people? That costs a lot of money. There is no doubt in my mind that CIG is one of the most mismanaged, poorly run, awful, scope creeped product, whatever you want to call it, out there. I'm never going to carry water for CIG. I am quite confident that the majority of CIG would hate me based on my own political beliefs. But with the way the world is changing and the stuff going on in the UK, that might not actually be the case. But this difference in opinion or ideology does not dissuade me from speaking about the reality of the situation. The business situation is that they need to make money. And despite what you may think, sitting there playing League of Legends or any other stupid game that you're used to, you're not going to raise a whole lot of money just selling cosmetics to fund a game of this scale. Especially to fund a game which is, as I said, way over budget, way late, and so awfully mismanaged. But real quickly, let's once again go over the hypocrisy of crying about these items that are on the shop. For how many years was the Gladius the dominant fighter in the game, the dominant ship in the game for any combat role, completely and totally overshadowing every other fighter in the game or any other combat ship in the game? Was that not pay to win? How about the Corsair, which still, despite nerfs, remains the dominant PvE farming, middle, of the road, multi-crew, quote-unquote multi-crew, ship that could just kind of do it all. It's just simply the best. Remember the F8C when that came out? This is nothing new. This always happens. And you know what else also always happens? This stuff sells out and record funding goes through the roof. Pretty much every time. If other people truly cared about this, if the majority of the people out there truly cared about pay to win, or thought that this was pay to win, why are so many people buying it? Are they being forced and compelled to buy it? Are they being preyed upon, or any other type of emotional argument that your favorite influencer, TM, has told you to use? Is that what this is? Is it a deep, complex, mental, and emotional manipulation? Predatory, there you go. Is it predatory? No, it's none of those things. Because the people want to buy it, because they like it. It's simple, it's convenient. It's some people, they want the skins. They don't want to worry about X, Y, and Z. They're paying for the convenience, or they're paying because they love the project. They're paying for something. The point is that they're paying. And they're paying in droves. You, the person complaining, are the minority in this. And you have been for a very long time. The reason why people just don't care about quote-unquote pay to win anymore like they did 12 or 13 years ago is because the phrase pay to win, like so many other phrases in the world nowadays, or words nowadays, has been thrown around so much, so frequently, that it's lost its meaning. So now nobody cares about something being pay to win, if it is or if it isn't. And the only one that you people have to blame, if you're on the quote-unquote anti-pay to win side, is yourselves. You've overdone it. You've overused the word. You've overused the phrases. Now, if you excuse me, I'm off to go buy every single one of these flight blades and skins, just so I can pay to win and spite all the haters. Thank you for watching.